Look at this atmospheric, almost spooky version of a bridge with weedy plants. Wet and wet, really fun and surprisingly easy. I am going to play with sort of an atmospheric, foggy looking bridge with basically just the span of the bridge and some of the lines coming down and then some flowers in front of it. I think I'm going to do it just with the sepia and then add a pop of color for the flowers. To start off with, I'm going to go in and just put a sort of a atmospheric sky. And I am just putting this on to the dry paper and I'm just bringing it down. I'm going to dry between each application of color. Looks like my paper had a little scratch in it up here. Not going to worry about that. This is after hours. This is relaxing. I'm just going to push that color back up to the top. So there, we've got some color on there, but not a lot. It's just going to be sort of a murky day. Dry this. Next step, I'm just grabbing, I have kind of a sepia coyote brown. My bridge, the base of the bridge, kind of, or the roadway, sort of comes at a slight angle. You're looking at it from down below. One of the span lift areas, and it just sort of fades off. This is a watercolor pencil, so I'm going to be putting the little arches into it, and then the next one is just barely visible, and then you don't see it, and then you do. The first one of the sections with the lines, and those will be coming down and joining in, and then you see just a very, very faint, this is probably the Golden Gate Bridge, very faint, a few lines, and then you've got the other side. Look at that. So I'm not going to be too specific with these lines, just putting them in a little bit. So what we want to do is get our color down here and the color up to about halfway, or up to about the bottom of that first span there. And we're still just going to use the sepia. And I'm just getting it onto my palette so I can pick it up easier. This is not very specific, so to start off with, I think I am going to go ahead and put just a touch of water on here. So I can work it up and have it just sort of fade off into the water, into the fog. There we go. Just get that wet up there and wet down here. This is an experiment. I don't know if it's going to work. Let's just see. It's going to be pretty dark down here at the bottom. I may have to put a second layer. I like how the water sort of pulls the color around. There we go. We're just putting it in here, and then I am going to work it up, and then we'll just sort of let it fade out into the fog. Be kind of like an old-fashioned photograph, won't it? a little bit more strong down here at the bottom, so I'm going to go ahead and pick up a bit more of that paint and just start dropping it in to some of these wet areas, but I'm not going to put it all the way up to the top anymore. The only thing I am going to do is soften that line out. And sort of soften this out. Just like that. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to turn out. It might be like it was taken with a pinhole camera. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? So now I don't want any sharp lines. So I am going to soften some of these lines. I think too much water there. Sort of soften the line. I need to take the paint off my brush and just go to the inside edge of that. Too much water on my brush. Ooh, that's looking foggy. That's looking good. Just run a line right along the edge of that. I just want this to feel like it's in the fog. I don't want a super hard line. There we go. So my opening got a little bit small. Oh well. There we go. I'm just trying to deepen up these colors just a little bit. Or this color. There's only one color here. That and the background of plain white paper. These are just the Arteza watercolors. Okay, I'm going to dry this, and then we'll come back and do some detail on the wires. Number 2 round. We're going to put the lines on fairly specifically, and then we'll soften it with the bigger brush. So, fairly heavy out here at the end. And then it's going to get softer and softer and softer as it goes up. At least that's the goal. You know. I do like how this brush is working. You know, I think I might even go and put a little bit of some shadow detail. Ah, yeah, that works. Just a bit. I'll just open it up just a little bit. And then we will put our non-specific lines on here. I'm not counting the cables. Barely touching the paper with the tip of this brush. Some of my lines are going to wobble. That's okay. Because you know what? It's foggy. It's the optical illusions, right? So I'm just trying to get these on. Then we're going to wet it all down and let them blur out. There we go. Just let it blur out. All right, so now we want to just blur this out with just a clean wet brush. I'm just going to pop it on there. Clean wet brush. I'm going to let it go across the lines a little. Sort of soften them out. Trying to make sure that I don't end up with any like lines of direction where I put the water on, like right there, where you can see that. There we go. That's better. Make sure I work that up in. This is just clean water. Ooh, this is looking cool. Don't really want that to be so strong. Maybe we'll just take a bit of this now. Ah, there we go. Just working some more of that fog in there. Keep toning the paper. All right, I like that. Just sort of disappearing into the fog. Oh, that's cool. Make sure it's soft and foggy. All right, we're gonna dry this, and I'm gonna put just some little flower branches in here. And it's going to be with the, that's where the only color is going to be. I'm going to use green in the sepia to make the leaves, the little branches, and I will take just a spot of orange to put the little flowers on. That's gonna be good. All right, so sepia I've already got there, and I think just a really dark green. Make kind of an olive. And actually, I just mixed it all up with that one brush. I'm going to use my brush that I was doing the sepia with. Let's add a little more sepia to it. There we go. It'll have kind of a colorized, old colorized look to it. One branch. Needs to be thicker. Yep, there we go. This is just sort of a weedy little plant. It's not anything specific. It's kind of cool to see things like this. I got the reference off of Unsplash. It's by Kellen Riggin. And they didn't say what bridge it was. Just little weeds. And I'm being a little bit artful with my placements, trying to end up with the areas where flowers are going to end up on, the little nondescript pops of color. In some of the areas where it might be just a smidge lighter on the background. See, just little pop, pop, pop. There we go. These guys are more in focus because they're closer to the photographer, closer to the artist, closer to the viewer. There we go. I think that's looking pretty good. Maybe just a little bit of detail down here, because again, they are a little closer to you. There we go. Okay. I like this. I like this kind of almost abstract, not quite. There we go. Okay, and now we'll just grab a little bit of some orange. Mix it with a touch of that sepia. And then I'm going to take brighter orange that's right next to it. Put the bright orange down, and then I can use that mixed in orange to give me a little bit of shadow. Oh, I like this. If I need to, you know, I might not need to. This might work. It looks like it's picking up some of the color. Oh, that's cool. Sometimes your plans can be modified right as you're doing it. Although I might use some of that anyway. Some of these spots are going to need a little bit of shadow. A little bit more depth. Oh, that's so cool. I am so glad that I decided to do this one and to go ahead and record it. Hope you guys are liking this. If you are, make sure and click that subscribe button and turn on all your notifications if you want to find out when I post new videos. Yeah, okay, it does. It needs a little touch of that sepia with the orange. Give it a little bit more detail. This is not gouache, this is regular watercolor paint, so, you know, light colors really don't go well over dark. So adding just a touch of the darker tone next to some of that is making it pop up just a little. I hope you're having fun, and if you're doing art along with me, make sure and share it on any of your social media. Just make sure and tag me at Deliberately Creative, and I want to see you on the next video. Look at that. Oh, that is so pretty. Very ghosty and atmospheric. I like it. So, thank you for watching. Remember, go out and do something creative. Take care of yourself so you can take care of those around you. I want to see you back here again really soon. Bye.